Hello, everybody. This is me, Kim. I am here to read the Mom and Caregiver Magazine. A few things that I like in this magazine that I wanted to read on issues and topics that, would help you as a parent, I think, or a caregiver to understand. And I thought this one right here, handling your emotions, I thought that would suit everyone because like everyone has like problems with your emotions, so it's a good one. We can all remember a time when in the heat of the moment our emotions got the best of us and we acted without considering the consequences. Sending a rash email, yelling at the kids, our emotions can explode, and by the time we become grounded, the damage is done. We are bombarded by social media every day with stories of people losing their cool and reacting to being pushed to the limits. At times, it appears people are always apologizing for their emotional reactions. Meanwhile, others are paralyzed by fear and anxiety and are too scared to seize the moment to speak up. While we cannot always choose our emotions, we can choose our response to emotion. The consequences and guilt over freezing can be just as detrimental. Uh, Either way, managing our emotions is tricky. This raises the question: am I in control of my emotions or do they control me? Emotions are not taught in school, and as adults, we have a complicated range of emotions with no manual of how to navigate them. Plus, the new trend that we must be happy always leaves no room to explore negative emotions and instead encourages denying they even exist. Deni- Denial and repression are not healthy ways to deal with emotions, good or bad. So I've created a list of healthy coping mechanisms to help you navigate all your emotions. So I'm gonna read you the list that um, it says in here. As I read the brief little section, I thought it was pretty good. And I hope that when I read the list and everything, and you take upon it and you think clearly, that maybe I could help you on like learning how to deal with certain things. Um, here, here are some strategies to help you cope. One, we cannot turn emotions on and off. Instead, let yourself feel fully and then act according to your values. Okay? And then two, emotions are not positive or negative, they exist on a spectrum. Sit back, take a time out, and reflect on what is behind your anger or fears and develop ways to work through them. So, just take the time, sit back, relax, take the time. You can do it, and just develop how you can deal with your emotions on a level of understanding. These are great, a great list. Three, remind yourself that you are not your emotions. You are a person with values and commitments. That has emotions which are triggered daily by your surroundings. Practice noticing your emotions without becoming one with them, so they no longer have the power to determine your behaviors. So that's good. Um, Number 4, be mindful that imposing emotions on those around you will not solve the root issue. Ignoring emotions can result in them coming out on the people you love, causing you to push them away. And 5, we always have choice. A feeling does not prevent you from acting. However, it can mold how you react. Observing your emotions, even when they feel overwhelming, creates a space in which we can ground ourselves in our values and commitments. While we cannot always choose our emotions, we can choose our response to emotions. Learning to regulate our emotions is the closest thing to a superpower a human being can possess. Being mindful of your emotions takes practice and patience with yourself. And as they say, practice makes perfect. So yeah, I I hope that this article right here actually helps you, whoever is watching. There's like a 2 more articles in this book magazine that I wanted to read too, so I'm gonna do that as well because I figured it's good and I'd like to help. And once a month, I figure I'm gonna maybe I think I should take this magazine and read something out of it. Like this channel if you agree and you like it. Please provide a like and a comment and let me know what you think if I should do this once a month. I did it last month for the month of April and I can keep continuing it. I think it's good, and this magazine is I like reading about what can help with as a parent, and yeah, and certain magazines tend to give you great help on learning as a parent, and so and sometimes just taking the time out and listening to someone, and trying kind of helps. Here's one about for children. It's managing screen time for children. So I think it's due to how much TV young children should basically watch and all that, and managing. This is in the magazine, so yeah, I thought this was a good one. And then there's one more, the take time to play, and that one is definitely a good one because children do need time to play and just being children. So yeah, I'm going to read the managing screen time first. Okay. I must confess that my children were weaned on Sesame Street. Yep, like everyone, I was definitely a child that watched a lot of Sesame Street when I was younger. I'm a 90s. I was a 90s kid, so it's just something everyone is. At that time, television was totally the only screen in the house. Today, iPads, phone screens, television, and computers all compete for the attention of our children. And educators, healthcare professionals, and parents begin to sound the alarm about the amount of screen time our children are exposed to. They're exposed to a lot. I think, I probably should listen to this and think too, because yeah, children are definitely exposed to a lot of screen time. If you think of all the things and tally everything up, the evidence is also starting to mount. Excessive screen time has been found to contribute to a sedentary life sedentary lifestyle and childhood obesity. As well, an association between excessive screen time and attention difficulties has seen an increased link to language development and cognitive abilities. The use of screens also impacts the development of relationships within families and may then affect their ability to form social interactions. The Canadian Pediatric Society Pediatric Society recently published recommendations on managing screen time in young children, as children under the age of 2 have a difficulty time transferring information that occurs to 2 dimensions to a real 3 dimensional world. The guidelines looked at children under the age of 2 separately from those from 2 to 5. The guidelines are as follows: minimize screen time. Screen time for children younger than 2 years is not recommended. For children 2 to 5, limit routine or regular screen time to less than 1 hour per day. Ensure that sedentary screen time is not a routine part of child care for children younger than 5 years. Maintain daily screen-free times, especially for family meals and reading. Avoid screens for at least 1 hour before bedtime, giving the potential for melatonin suppressing effect. What? I don't know. Hey, that's what it says. See? Mitigate, reduce the risk associated with screen time. Be present and engaged when screens are used, and whenever possible, co-view with children. Be aware of content and prioritize educational, age-appropriate, and interactive programming. Use parenting strategies that teach self-regulation, calming, and limit setting. Model healthy use of screen time. It is difficult to be sensible in an environment of plenty. We live in a world with too much food, too much distraction, and too many screens. While it is difficult, we can minimize, mitigate, and be mindful of the risk for our children. So I thought this one was a good one to read to you out of this magazine. And then the time to play is another one. I like reading things about children and allowing them to, for play and everything, because that's like how children learn. Children learn through play. I'm an educator, so I have my early childhood education, so I feel that, I like this magazine and I like talking about it and things that can teach maybe a parent or something, or like another caregiver, a little bit. So I hope you read it, or whoever reads it or listens. Be nice. Time to play. Many families today feel bombarded with timelines and routines to follow that children are often the victim of. As our lives become more structured, children have fewer opportunities to engage in experiences that are free from adult instructions. Over the past few decades, there has been a dramatic rise in the number of children experiencing feelings and of anxiety, depression, and a sense of hopelessness. The evidence tells us it is time to repri- reprioritize the and bring play back to the top of our do list to-do list. This is where we can look to our youngest citizens for guidance. Children spend most of the early years in a state of play. They observe and connect with the world around them in a way that is motivated by instant inquiry. Children attend to the intricate details within each moment. They constantly create opportunities to engage joyfully with the world and people around them. As adults, we need to take notice of this way of living. We can join children to focusing on small integrating details all around us. We should spend time thinking in the realm of possibilities. We must let go of our desire to focus on outcomes and results and learn to re engage with the space and materials we encounter daily. We have to slow down and simply enjoy the process of interacting with our world. The next time we are sitting in traffic, feeling eager to get somewhere, pause for a moment, bring your attention to something other than your destination. Take a moment to look out your window and observe what is going on around you. Move your gaze across the surrounding landscape. Develop questions about what we are noticing, who might have built the roads we are driving on, what exists below in the road, what was in this place long before the road was built. Let your mind wander until you no longer care about the answers, but find joy in asking the questions. In this state of curiosity, you find joy in asking the questions in this state. Oh, I just read that over. Sorry, let me just do that. In this state of curiosity, you are able to bring your focus into present moment, follow your instincts, and notice how good it feels to be playful. As we begin to invite play back into our lives and experience its benefits, it will become easier for us to advocate for more play for our children. I think that one was a great one to read. That's definitely a good um article right there. I hope you can benefit from this, and I think maybe once a month I might take a magazine and read about parenting and my parenting, well, technically caregiving, because my belief in children and all that. I hope that my reading it will encourage you to listen and maybe get a little idea on how to go about some of your children in the lives of, I am an early childhood educator, so I mean, officially, I have it. I went to school for it and I graduated. So, I mean, yeah, and that's why I like this magazine because it says it's a mom and caregiver magazine. And I think if I read it to you all, I think it's good. And that's where these articles came from. This magazine, I was reading it specifically from what this magazine has to say on those topics. So I hope you like it, and I hope you learned from my video. Um, so I'll let you go. Thank you for listening. If you did listen, just if you like it, give a like. Thank you. Maybe subscribe. I'll sign off. Goodbye. How do you take this off?